we'll see just because how, our age and once we graduate school and start to enter into like more real world stuff, it's going to be noticeable. The people who grew up a little bit more like hardened and like common sense, logistical, like more down to earth versus people who were coddled and are now like entering like the workforce and have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Are used to having like so many fallbacks and all this stuff. And I think it's going to be really noticeable. I think there's going to be like, I don't want to say a hierarchy, but there's going to be when you walk into a room, there's going to be an unspoken connection between the people who grinded and they can tell that you grinded and you know what's going on. And then there's going to be the people who just fall behind and, they were coddled and now they're going to continue to be like
those coddled are
right in the back.
I feel like they're going to make a fucking ruckus because they're not going to like it.
Publicly, you're saying.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
going to be
do.
They really do
make a large ruckus.
And it's just like, well, I can't like, honestly, when I just hear, the thing that bothers me the most is when people complain about things that they have control over. Yeah. So, like, they complain about, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I'm going to go back to the work. Like, they complain about getting a bad grade, and they're like, why'd I get this bad grade? I'm like, well, did you study? Did you go to office hours?
Oh, no, the professor was terrible, and that. And
blame
this and that.
everything but
yourself.
I
was up late last night. Like, I was doing homework for another class.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so you didn't study, and you didn't go get help, and you didn't go to class, and you got a bad grade. Sounds about right. Do your fucking work.
Or get the bad grade and just take it and be like, all right.
Take it like a champ.
Grade,
like, people love to blame others. And I mean, because no one wants to be, like, wrong themselves or be themselves to blame. Because that's way harder to say than, it's you're to blame. It's way easier to point your finger than point the finger at yourself.
It's hard to say you're wrong. It really is hard to say you're wrong.
There's a quote in Midnight Gospel, which I love so much. It's like, you can't see your own eyes. I love that so much. You can't see your own eyes, like, because I think the eyes are the gateway to the soul, like sometimes said.
Okay,
so it's like you can't. Your eyes see everything, the entire world, but they don't see you. You don't see yourself.
They do see you, but they definitely don't see you how other people would see you,
or how you are. Like, we try to lie to ourselves to make ourselves feel better.
Well, how you are is that's pretty open-ended.
Like,
how you are is what? Is how other people see you.
Yeah.
Or is it how you see yourself? Because that's just this esoteric. It's like a philosophy question.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
Who are you?
I always had the thought that, and I always try to push it in philosophy classes, like, perspective is everything. So when people are like, oh, he or she isn't like this on social media, or, oh, like, they're not, like, truly like that. Well, if that's how they're putting themselves out there, like, perspective is reality. Because how everybody sees you is who you are, really, rather than who you are to yourself. So at the end of the day, I think that, like, perspective is huge in determining, like, what is and what isn't.
Perspective is definitely, like, everything. Like, I like to think about someone who, like, very non-privileged kid, say starving somewhere in some, like, third world country.
Mm-hmm.
Does he still get as happy and as sad as we do? And are our sad points just as sad as his, and our happy points just as happy as his? I would say probably yes.
Yeah,
I would say it's just a different kind, Like,
it's for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like different priority sets. Like, this is why I think there's such a problem right now with mental health for our generation, because our grandparents were immigrants. Like, they were just trying to survive. Yeah. They were just trying to, like...
Oh, I know you're going to, for sure, yeah.
And now they didn't have time for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
They were really just worried about getting food on their table, getting to work, getting their kids to school. Like, that was it. And then our parents, they had a little easier. They softened up, and they got raised with no love and no anything. But that's how their parents had to. They just had to get them food. That's all they cared about. And then they got fucked up. And then they had kids, which is us. And our fucked up parents that are now making money and having a good time fuck us up as kids, and now we have an easy time and we're going to college. We're like, what is going on with everything? Yeah. Why is life so scary? I've never learned how to love. Like, I've never learned how to, like, be happy with myself. And now we're just, like, in this what is the middle ground called?
Gray area.
when you're not in heaven or hell, purgatory.
Purgatory.
We're in this like purgatory of like we don't know how to be happy because we never been taught it. And like now meditation's coming out, like it's always been there, but like more popular, like yoga, like all this mental health stuff's coming out. And it's good because like hopefully our generation could be the generation that gets a hold of that spiritual side and fucking give it to our kids so they don't have to go through the same shit we did.
Well, there's definitely a movement away from, like, I would say, people would say true happiness, but more like mental happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And
What do you mean by that?
Towards short-term, like, little dopamine releases, like checking your phone.
So you think it went towards shorter?
Towards shorter term. Like, I'm sure the attention span now of a 10-year-old kid is way shorter than it was 30 years ago.
Probably.
Or 50 years ago. But I think that getting a bunch of short little, checking your phone, playing a video game, going, like, doing whatever satisfies us for the second is over time probably hurting your ability to have like long-term happiness.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a very like Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau.
No, what's that?
Like the author goes into the woods, wants to like go leave everything behind, like and live like a primitive life. And his idea was if you're only trying to survive 24/7, that's your peak happiness because that's what a human's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you're living the most up to your natural instincts is surviving.
That is weird. We've moved on from that.
Because when was the last time you survived?
Never.
Like never.
Like
you can emulate it in the gym. You can go for a run and you can emulate it. But like, I don't know. Like maybe like
it's like a meditative state.
Maybe like hiking like a few years ago, I was scared by a mountain lion. That might have been the last time I had real survival instincts.
Yeah.
And it felt great.
Did you
like
see a
it was
mountain lion?
It was super scary. I saw a mountain lion.
Ooh, what happened?
It was really cool. It was like we were kind of far away from it, but like we were with this guy who was very knowledgeable of the woods, and I could tell like by his body language that he was getting scared of the mountain lion, even like probably like 20 yards away from us.
It's still close.
So that got me so scared when I could tell he was getting scared because he was like,
Yeah.
all right, like, let's go. Like he
gosh.
shuffled us away, but it was very cool.
Where were you hiking?
What I want to see is a bear. I want to go out west and see a black bear. I was out west.
That would be cool. Black bear? Are those the really dangerous ones or the grizzly bears are the dangerous ones?
Grizzlies are a little scary. If I ran up on a grizzly and like I'm sure there's black bears up here actually.
There's some in Jersey.
Definitely. Yeah.
They came in our backyard, eat our trash cans and stuff.
They're cool.
They are cool. Animals are sick.
I don't like deer. I really just don't like deer.
What about them?
They're on Long Island. They're everywhere.
Okay.
So they lose like their sense of coolness when you see them everywhere.
That's fair. Jersey's got the same one.
And they opened up hunting on Long Island for deer because they're overpopulated. So like I think there's times, but at like 6 a.m. you'll hear gunshots like in neighborhoods.
Just bop bop bop.
Of people hunting deer. I mean, there's definitely some rules to it. I don't think you should buy houses.
You can't shoot. You can't shoot houses. Yeah, you can't shoot like fawn. That's the baby deers, right?
Yeah,
fawn. Right?
Something like that.
Yeah, fawn and the girl ones you can't shoot. Yeah, dude. I was thinking like for the survival thing, when we were like homo something, just homos. When we were homos.
Erectus.
Yeah, I don't know. But
No homo.
When we were the first people, like the first person to put on shoes must have been like
Crazy.
a major bitch.
Crazy.
Like everyone must have been like, "Yo, you can't walk on the ground. Like you need some fucking leather under your feet so it doesn't hurt you, you little baby back bitch."
Dude, that's so fast. The first guy to put on shoes.
Everyone must have been like, "You're such a little bitch."
Like I wonder
Just
why.
walk.
I wonder why.
Because
shoes came in.
little feet hurt. And
But the guy before him just ran on his calluses and was fine.
he was a
with it.
badass.
So I wonder if he was smart or if he was a bum.
Probably a bum.
Probably
I'm
a
saying
bum.
a big time
Probably
bum.
a bum.
Dude, can you look up? I think you get, when you walk barefoot, I think you get like nutrients or something. Like you get some energy from the ground.
I've heard some very crazy things like that. I don't know,
I
but I've
don't
heard
know
that
if
there's
that's
an
just, like,
energy
yeah.
effect.
I think there is. I don't know if it's bullshit.
It's a big like 60s hippie walking around barefoot.
but it sounds,
could be legit.
It sounds legit.
I mean, I haven't read it yet, but I found a BuzzFeed article.
I don't.
And it said, did you know that walking barefoot on grass can improve your health? These 5 benefits are proof.
All right. See, if BuzzFeed says it, I
It's
just
gotta
said I
be
didn't believe
real.
them, but they agreed with
And the
me, so I believe
first-
it.
These 5 facts, and you'll never believe
The
number
first
4.
one